Hey all, we are back on Heat 5. Oop. We are back on Heat 5 in the ARCA series. Qualifying for the second race. 25% times one wear. With brand new Atlanta setup, which is, I don't know, I haven't ran a race with it yet, but it's pretty fast, at least for what I'm used to. No, it's not like superhuman or anything. I hope I got the balance right. Well, that's what this race, you know, these races are, is basically to fine-tune while having some fun. Yeah, that's about what I've been running. $28,857 was the poll. Yeah, we need to get down there. But the actual goal would be to be able to do a 28.6 something. Single car run qualifying. Okay, well, somebody had a problem, so we're starting ninth on the inside, which I prefer. But let's see what we can do here. I love Atlanta. This is old Atlanta. 24 degrees. Yeah. This is another one of those tracks I like to be in the race gear by the time I hit turn one. Because you can deal with all this. Sucked up there. Get that yellow line, that could be very bad in this situation. Not clear yet. That was there. Let's all move up. Harvick, why aren't you running the Harvick on? When he won, with him and Bush were winning 7 races. I think him and Bush, true. 7 races, mostly at the mile and a half. He pointed out here in Atlanta that he ran this line down here because, see, there's a little bit more grip. Actually helps the car to turn. I've been running that line for 30 years, but that's okay. Actually, I probably didn't run that line when it was an oval. That was a fun track. Oh, slid. Well mannered though. Yeah, we got speed. I let off to not slide. Drag race. Should have 4. Should have let off a little bit there, but we're okay. See, middle off. Middle off, I just eked them out a bit. Probably showing about a tenth faster, I guess. 0.3. So 29.4. That's 110. So we're 2/10 faster. So right at the beginning of the race, immediately they're down to, qualified at a 28.8 and they're down to 29.5. Bear that in mind. So even though we qualified 10th, started 9th, we don't fall off as fast as they do. So if you can get out front quick and get a lead, that will help you, even if you have a terrible setup halfway through and completely fall off. Now we got no stages in this, so we'll have to make one pit stop unless there's a caution. We're simulating, more like the ARCA series. We're 2% loose, but I think we'll be okay. Yes, this race is 25% at 82 laps. That's how I'm going to run this ARCA series here. Here we're up to 29.5. We catch up quick. But we're still a 10 faster, so they're falling off. For those of you who know the Heat series, tire wear at Atlanta tends to be terrible. If you look at my right side tires, once I get into the 70s, watch them just drop. Couple more laps, maybe one more. So we're losing 1% on the right rear, and that's still running 29.5. Still about a tenth faster. I see the left front is wearing just a little bit more than the right front. And we're 3% loose already, so maybe a half a pound on the right front when we pit. You notice we're not, running by ourselves up front here. We're not letting off the gas all the way. Just letting it up in the middle of the turn here. And getting back into it. But we're squeezing it. We're not stomping it. Being easy. 9.5. I haven't dipped below 180 off the turns yet, which is really cool. Rear is wearing a lot. We didn't go through the 70s on the right side as much as I thought we would. And for For being 4% loose and basically 250 on the right rear, it is handling really, really stable. Still pulling away, yep. Dip below there because the turn is tight. So that was the first one I saw, 178. Having to pass a car. Sliding a little bit. Yeah, see, it's getting loose. Wow. See, this is why we run the races. There's no clue that we would get this loose. Running, I ran a lot of laps, in practice. But that's the heat series. That's why we race. So 5%. So we're pushing a full pound on the right front, maybe. See, it's not tight in the middle, it's just tight off, so that helps. Well, let's see if we can get that right rear live without losing too much. We're still 180 off the turns. We lost a little bit of speed though. Yeah. It's not feasible. Same speed so far. Oh, we're still 10 faster, so this might work. Even though it's loose, it still binds up off the turns. And that's where we lose the speed. If you watch the speedometer, it's a big clue there. How to account for that is something else. Okay, so 5%. For every 2%, a half a pound. So if we throw a pound in the race in the right front, we should be okay. We also know we can go about 20 laps as the fastest car on the track without question. What do we got? 24 laps, 33 laps in the tank. 7, 30, 57, 82 laps, 81, 82. So that's 24 laps. So pretty much, if we don't change anything and we maintain a lead, we can run full out to the end of third gear. We had to. And if we get a caution, we should be able to make it to the end any time now. I know, another boring race, but the more boring it is for the driver, the more successful the driver tends to be. Yeah, a couple miles off now. 90 turns. Now why why would I choose to do tire pressure? I could do wedge, but it's not tight in the middle. It's not loose in the middle. It's near perfect in the middle. It's all middle off, and that's the right rear, the right front, right rear. So I can make a shock adjustment, but not during the race. So during the race, I will put the tire pressure in. But, you know, it doesn't just make it tighter. You got to think about it. If you look at the front tires, they're running very even in tire wear. Now, the right side should wear more than the left. See, here it's 1%. But if you noticed on the start, when we were hitting the turns, you know, a little bit faster and harder through the turns, the left front was wearing a little bit more. You might need to drop the camber down a little bit, but when we put that right front tire pressure in, that right front is going to hit the track harder. So instead of being 225, 230, it's going to be, you know, maybe 10 degrees hotter, which would be good, 15 degrees hotter. And what it also does is it increases the front tire stagger, which as we're tightening it up, it can actually make the front end turn better, which might help that little bind up that we get off the turns. So, you know, I'm pulling the gas and I'm not going to get off there because we're sliding. We're sliding because I chose to drift it up around the 14, and because the right rear tire is, you know, lesser than the others, a little less grip there. The balance is off. So when it's handling good, it goes sideways. When it's handling bad, it wants to point its nose at the infield or the outside wall. Okay, so we're 7% loose. That's not good. But we are 31 in, and we have 51 on the right front. That's more than halfway. We still might have an issue with tires at the end of the run, you know, if we went a full run. You know, the faster you go, the more tire wear you get. The key is to make the tire wear work for you and not against you. It's working for us, but we're overworking it just a little bit. And because we have a loose condition, it might not be that noticeable, but we are sliding around more than we would be if we didn't have, you know, less grip on the right rear, even in fourth gear. So it all factors in here. We're sliding there. It's a good thing I know how to drive. Yep, definitely the fastest cup setup I've ever had here. Wish I had this 5 years ago. Oop. I think I only have one. I think I have 2 wins here, 1 or 2 wins in Xfinity. And yeah, I should have had a few more, but gas mileage, knocked out of the way, you know, stupid stuff. Because the quest here is to be fast, you know, this is a very fast track. And when you're a 10th off, man, like you're sitting still, you might be running second place, but the guy in front, you know, can gap you by a straightaway, you know, in the fuel run. And in the third stage, when you're looking at that, you're like, oh man, how am I going to gain 2/10? Because 1/10, you just maintain the gap. A second 10th, and now you can pull back on the guy. You know, if he doesn't have trouble. You never wish the guy to have trouble, but, you know, when you're sitting back here, you're like, you know, hit the wall, or blow a tire, you know, which is a very likely thing to happen, especially at the end of runs. Well, there's a lot of caution. The guys trying to push the cars too far. That's why I'm concerned about the right rear. We're still running 29.7s, man. That's fucking awesome. 57 laps in. So basically what it's fine, but I lost my maneuverability and we went to 8. And that's a problem. See, like, a situation like this. If guys do stuff, it makes it a lot harder to navigate around them. Yep, almost lost it. All because of the right rear. And I can pit any time, but when I have a handling issue and I know I can go a certain amount of laps, I'm more comfortable getting closer to that, whatever that number is. And, odds are we always have a caution. At least one, so odds are there will be a caution anyway. But, because I'm having a little bit of a handling issue, two hands on a little bit of a handling issue, we'll pit and then we'll have the caution. Make it a shootout to the end, but that works too. Because we know we have the best short run car. And the best long run car, even handicapped like we are. I venture that this must be a lot like, well, not really, but at least driving-wise, this looks a lot like how the new Atlanta drives. Basically, like a super speedway. Like I'm out of the gas very, very little. And almost never fully, unless I'm catching it and sliding or something. I wasn't out of it fully there. Maybe halfway. So, if we have no caution, it's going to be the right rear that determines when we pit. There's some bumps on the backstretch that are like impossible to miss. I know I've tried. There they are. Oops, that's a curb. See, you hit the curb when you're loose and it affects you more. That's only 1%. I might make it to the end, but I know that's not true because when you get to under 20%, your tires always wear more. Always. But it should be fine. Yeah, 15 laps, gas, means 8, 3 and 10, 23. Yep. What I figured, about 25, 24 laps probably, because we'll probably lose a lap. We're on the gas so much. That's if the tire holds out. We haven't hit 20 yet. We're going to hit 20 this lap or next lap. There, we're at 20. Let's see what it does now. I've lost as much as 6% in a lap. Yeah. So it means we might only have 2 or 3 laps to dive on the pit road, but we're good so far. We should lose one here. Yep. The bumps. So we'll probably lose, I venture, looks like 2% a lap. So we will get maybe down into the single digits on the gas. That's 1. Should lose one in the back here. 2, see, bump. I'm trying not to floor it, especially through the middle of the turn. one on the front stretch, so we'll definitely use one back here. Split. Yeah, lost one. See that little wiggle, and then we lost it. But that was the only one. Ah, there's another one. Still running under 30.0 laps. This is awesome. I think my previous was 30.2. I didn't double check. And I'm running ARCA because we got Watkins Glen in the career, and I'm just not up to running a road course or even a short track. And then my buddies are running Bristol truck tonight because I tell you, my ankles killing me. So not having to, work 3 pedals, every lap is a huge deal right now. So a nice, super speedway like oval. Fit the bill for 82 laps. I might do a double header, see how I feel after this one's over. Down to 11, we're going to watch that right rear tire a lot more. It's 50 laps. You know what? That tire is not as bad as you think it is, because I think we had 53 laps of gas, 54 laps, 53 really, even if it says 54. And we just hit 50 laps, so everybody's pitting, so we should be, the setup overall should be really good. But if I had to race somebody like this, forget about it. Just a little bit of contact and I can blow the tire. Yeah. Normally when it hits 6 here, I pit, but because it's acting so normal. 29.9. Wow. 29.9 after 52 laps. Wonky. We got 29 laps, 6%. It goes to 5, I'm gonna put. Didn't. Now it's going to bite me, watch. We got a 5 in the front stretch, and then we'll blow on the back stretch. Okay, well that should have been expected. Okay, so basically 54 laps, which is what we had in the tank, the third gear. Sliding, yep. Yep, we're pitting. Hey, pitting this time. Right there. Don't get too hard on the brakes with low tires. It will blow. Happened to my buddy Kime on the transition one time here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Took a picture. I did very little prep for this. I worked on this setup for career mode. Atlanta is one of my favorite tracks and very frustrating. I win like all the time offline because of the quirks of the game and stuff. But I really wanted to win more here. And, you know, now that the game is going away, at least I know I got something. I learned a lot. And you can't undervalue that. 105. A little slow on entry there. And a little slow on exit. The exit at Atlanta is very, very tricky. I figured out how to do it more consistently, glitch-free, and then, of course, I forgot, and I was in the wrong lane starting off, so I slowed down instead of risking. Oop, a little bit loose there. Put that air in the right front, right? A little closer together. That's good. It's 29 flat. Oh, I'm so close to my record. All these new setups have really, you know, I've gotten new records that most of the tracks, not all the tracks, most of the ovals. Cool to put a new record up. It's not going to be this lap. Closer though. We're doing good. That pound of air seems to have done the trick. See, the big gain here, it might be a little confusing to some, right? So you see my record is 28.9. That's a draft lap in a race here. You know, we had like 15 guys in a row, and that's a really fast lap. You can make a qualifying setup, and you can go really fast there by yourself, but you can't use that setup to race. You know, typically you have to make it so it'll only work in a certain groove, and it's not very maneuverable, and tires burn off, you know, right front, left front, right rear typically, and you can't run more than, you know, half the fuel run with it, maybe at the most. And that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is we have good fire off speed, really good fire off speed, 29.1s. 29 zeros even. But over the course of the run, our slowest clear lap, our slowest clean lap before we pitted, and in fourth gear, not third, in fourth gear, was a 30.0. And that is just, you know, and then we were able to run just a tick, you know, a couple thousands faster, a couple hundreds faster. And that is awesome, and that's what you want. And even though we weren't as maneuverable, I could drive it. I figured out how to get around the guys. I only had to really slow down, get completely out of the gas once or twice. And all my moments where I had to get out of the gas to, you know, avoid sliding, hitting a wall or something, was in passing people. So when I was able to, you know, run my line and such, it was very, very stable and fine, and this is a huge improvement over what I've been bringing to these tracks. And it is very much the same setup that I just made for Charlotte. I forget the other track we went to recently, 1.5 miles of the career, but yeah, we are. You know, and that was Heat 4 career mode, by the way. You know, and that's where the setup came about. I fine-tuned it here as I'm continuing to fine tune it. But this is a Heat 4 setup. Heat 4 and Heat 5 are very, very similar. The difference mainly is the amount of grip that you get in the course of a race or practice or test session or whatever. And it is different. But to say that it's completely different is ridiculous. What's different mainly is you get different levels of grip at different times during a race or practice or test session. And the commonality is, you know, you might have a little bit more grip starting out in Heat 4, but you can also lose that later in the race. Whereas my overall impression when we went to Heat 5 was that you had less grip. But that's true and not true based on what I just said. It changes. And I think it changes more in Heat 5, which is what makes it even more confusing. You know, like third stage, a lot of times a lot different than the other stages. And they do that on purpose. So a lot of times you see a proven race setup by a guy that you know is fast, and he puts it like a YouTube setup. Not all the YouTube setups are great, but you know, a guy that you know is fast and such, and he puts a setup up, and then you go into your own league race with your buddies, and like it's crapping in stage 1. Might even be crap in stage 2, but then you get into stage 3 and the thing takes off, and that's Heat, you know. Because I'd rather have a car handle like Jack the Bear, the old slang term, in stage 3 when the cash window is open, than in stage 1. Even if I need to win stage points, you'd rather win the race. Always. I have to make a little bit further adjustment. A little bit too free. See that 250, 260? It's countered by the 240 on the right front, and we kind of fixed the issue with left front wearing a little bit more. So we got a much better balance. I can feel it's much better. But we would still have minor issues on the long run. So we got a little bit more work to do. But we are very happy. I'd love to have an ill-handling car this fast at every track. I have an idea what I'm going to do. Probably going to make a track bar adjustment. I made one before the race based on what I saw in practice. It needs a little bit more. Well, we made it better. We didn't screw it up. A little bit confused why it says 82 laps and then we only have 81 in the race. Unless I'm misreading it wrong, misremembering it, which is possible, almost. But it's good to come to a track and have, you know, a new setup and have it, you know, fire on all 8 cylinders so well. Whoa! See, it's those moments that can be really bad. How hard I think you're mine. Also could have been really good. I can't. Oh, see, I thought somebody was down, but I couldn't reach the button because I had the wheel turned. So we got everybody lapped. Just 3 guys. We're not going to catch them. Whoa! I was in my lane there, Kurt. Sliding. See, when you see a 20-degree difference, that's like the edge of where you want to be. You want to be more like 10 degrees typically, right front to right rear for balance. Now, because it starts off fine, and it's only over the run that, you know, it gets loose. You know, great qualifying, you know, to be a little bit on the loose side. But again, it's how you loosen up. See the setup? I wouldn't touch the wedge the way it is, you know. So just loosening the wedge can screw you at the center of your turn really bad and lose you a ton of speed. Because this track is, a lot of ways, it's a momentum track the way I'm running it. So here, you know, see, whatever my speed is, I'm trying not to lose as much as possible. See, 181 was the slowest. And that makes for a much faster lap if you can do that at both ends. 6. You gotta have the track to do it in now. Truex. Brad is up here. Where is Brad? Is that Brad? Oh. One of those orange cars. Whoa. Oh, we didn't catch him. I wasn't really trying, but awesome performance there. That was terrific. Just gotta tighten it up a little bit. So in a standalone season, championship season they call it, there's no money, there's no whatever, it's just simply points. And I'm running this basically just to work on setups in a less time intensive way, you know, only 25% races, but it's the Cup Series. See, like I think in Xfinity in the other ARCA I'm running, which I have to get back to, you know, I think it's 50% because the races are shorter. You know, so like, you know, we go to the Coke 600, that race, instead of being 400 laps, it'll only be 100 laps. I had no stages. I like a no stage format. I never cared for stages. And yeah, you know, I've been watching NASCAR racing forever. I'd like to say my whole life, but I really started with Indy. NASCAR was like a novelty. But in the 80s, you know, I started to fall in love with those two-door coupes on the street. And then, you know, they ran them in NASCAR, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I became a huge NASCAR fan. Unfortunately, couldn't see many races. even on TV, because they didn't show them on TV up here. It was ABC Wide World of Sports. And if you're lucky, you know, you got to watch, you know, a half hour, an hour, 2 hours of racing. And then when ESPN took them over, it was on cable. And I grew up in the Bronx. The Bronx had no cable until 1989, unless you had a satellite. That's the year I got married and moved to Westchester and got cable. Yeah. And then it wasn't even until 95, I believe, that you could watch all the races up here because you couldn't get TNN. TNN carried 4 races, including the All-Star race, I believe. And couldn't get TNN up here until 94, 95. Yeah. So, very successful run there. Just missed getting our, well, how many laps did I lead? All of them? I think I led all of them. Nope. 76 out of 81, I guess. I didn't read the first couple laps I started. That's cool. Okay, enough of that. Oh. My finger's hurting. Okay, so next race up would be Richmond. We have 100 laps at Richmond instead of 400. So that's very cool. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, ask me questions, comment, and we'll talk to you next time.